Imagine this, a glass of liquid gold, a symbol of success, an arrival drink for life's big moments. Scotch whisky isn't just a beverage, it's an emotional investment. It marks promotions, celebrates milestones, and often, it carries a mortgage-level price tag. But here's the burning question: are you actually paying for craftsmanship, or just cleverly marketed heritage and lifestyle prestige? Are you really getting liquid gold? For centuries, Scotch has been steeped in tradition, mystique, and often, a hefty price. But beneath the velvet cloaks and polished marketing campaigns, there's a wild, untamed spirit. Some whiskies honor that spirit with true character and depth. Others? They lean heavily on their storied past to justify what amounts to smooth, expensive mediocrity. It's time to pull back the curtain and see who's truly delivering on the promise of Scotch. Today, we're embarking on an epic journey at a comprehensive, critique-driven ranking of 25 world-famous Scotch whisky brands. We'll expose the imposters and elevate the true titans. From those that make you question your life choices and your financial decisions, to the liquid gold that truly justifies every penny. No corporate spin, no brand ambassador fluff, just pure, unadulterated honesty. This is the ranking you actually need to see. To cut through the noise, we've developed an ironclad analytical framework. We're judging each whiskey on 3 critical pillars. First, its pure liquid quality, the taste, the aroma, the finish. Second, its authenticity. Does it truly embody the spirit of Scotch, or is it just a brand name? And finally, value for money. Are you getting what you pay for, or just paying for prestige? We're taking a deep dive, so you don't have to. When we talk about liquid quality, we're not just looking for something smooth. That's like praising water for being wet. We're seeking complexity, balance, and a distinct character that tells a story on your palate. Does it have layers of flavor? Is the nose engaging? Does the finish linger pleasantly, inviting another sip? This is about true craftsmanship and the artistry of the distiller, not just a lack of harshness. Authenticity. This is where many famous brands falter. Does a whiskey feel true to its origins? Does it reflect the raw materials, the local climate, the traditional methods? Or has it been engineered in a lab to hit a mass-market sweet spot, losing its soul in the process? We want whiskies that speak of Scotland, not just a boardroom decision. True authenticity means respecting the spirit's journey from grain to glass. Finally, the wallet's verdict: value for money. A whiskey can be exquisite, but if it costs a king's ransom for a fleeting moment of pleasure, its value plummets. Conversely, a modest bottle offering surprising depth and character punches well above its weight. We're asking, does the price align with the experience? Or are you just paying for a fancy bottle, celebrity endorsements, and a legacy that's been commodified beyond recognition? Before we dive in, let's quickly define some terms, because a patient teacher never assumes. First, single malt Scotch whisky. This means 2 crucial things: it's made entirely from malted barley at a single distillery. Just one distillery, one grain. This typically results in a more complex, distinct flavor profile, a pure expression of that distillery's unique character. Think of it as a solo artist, showcasing their unique talent. Then we have blended Scotch whisky. This is a mix of different whiskies from multiple distilleries. It combines both single malts and grain whiskies. Grain whisky is typically made from grains like wheat or corn, distilled in continuous column stills, producing a lighter, often less flavorful spirit. Blended Scotch aims for consistency and accessibility, like a symphony orchestra where different instruments play together for a harmonious, approachable sound. The heart of whiskey making is distillation. This process separates alcohol from water through heating and cooling. In Scotch, this mostly happens in copper or pot stills, those onion or pear-shaped giants. The shape and size of these stills dramatically impact the spirit. Taller, narrower stills produce a lighter, more delicate spirit, while shorter, fatter stills create a heavier, richer spirit. It's all about surface area and reflux, allowing lighter vapors to rise. After distillation, the spirit, now called new make, is clear and fiery. It gains its color and over 60% of its flavor from immaturation, resting in wooden casks for at least 3 years, by law. These casks are usually made of oak, often previously used for bourbon or sherry. Bourbon casks impart vanilla and caramel notes, while sherry casks bring rich dried fruit, spice, and nutty flavors. The wood literally breathes life into the spirit. Scotland is divided into distinct whisky regions, each with its own character, influencing the final taste. Speyside whiskies are often fruity and floral. Islay whiskies are famous for their smoky, peaty notes. The Highlands offer a vast range, from light to rich. The lowlands tend to be lighter and grassy. While some argue terroir isn't as critical as in wine, the environment and traditions of each region certainly leave their mark on the spirit. Now that we've got the basics covered, let's talk tone. I'm adopting the persona of a sharp, slightly sarcastic, and utterly uncompromising connoisseur. I'm not here to coddle brands or echo marketing fluff. Brands that play it too safe? They'll be called training wheels or the liquid equivalent of business casual. Expect unfiltered honesty. Because you, the discerning whiskey lover, deserve nothing less than the absolute truth about your dram. So, armed with our framework, our knowledge, and a healthy dose of skepticism, we begin our descent into the fascinating world of Scotch whisky. This is not just a list, it's a guide to understanding what you're truly pouring into your glass. From the mass-produced marvels to the hidden gems, get ready to re-evaluate every sip. Your whiskey journey is about to get a serious upgrade. Let's dive in, starting at the bottom. Before we reveal our first brand, a quick disclaimer. When we say your worst, it's always relative in the world of Scotch. Even the lowest-ranked whiskey on our list is still, technically, Scotch. It's undergone rigorous processes, aged for at least 3 years, and represents a significant effort. Our worst simply means it falls short on our specific criteria, liquid quality, authenticity, and value for money compared to its peers. There are no truly bad Scotches, just less inspiring ones. Alright, let's kick things off with a brand so ubiquitous, it's almost a rite of passage, Johnnie Walker Red Label. This isn't just a whiskey, it's a global phenomenon, often the first Scotch many people encounter. Its red label bottle is instantly recognizable worldwide, a testament to its incredible reach and marketing prowess. But does global recognition translate to genuine quality? Let's peel back the layers and find out. The story of Johnnie Walker begins in 1820 with John Walker, a grocer in Kilmarnock. He started blending whiskies to ensure consistency for his customers, a revolutionary concept then. This wasn't about creating the most complex spirit, but the most reliable and palatable. His son, Alexander Walker, truly expanded the empire, designing the iconic square bottle and the slanted label to make it stand out on shelves. This focus on mass appeal and consistency defined Red Label from the start. At the heart of Johnnie Walker's success is the art of blending. Master blenders painstakingly select and combine dozens of different single malt and grain whiskies from across Scotland. Their goal isn't necessarily to achieve a unique, standout flavor, but a consistent, reproducible profile year after year. This ensures that a bottle of Red Label tastes exactly the same whether you buy it in London, Tokyo, or New York. It's engineering for the palate, designed for familiarity. Red Label, being a blended Scotch, contains a significant proportion of grain whiskey. As we discussed, grain whiskey is typically made from wheat or corn, distilled in large, efficient column stills. These stills run continuously, creating a lighter, cleaner spirit at a higher alcohol content and faster pace than traditional pot stills. This makes grain whiskey highly cost-effective and provides a neutral canvas for the blenders. It's the silent workhorse of many blended whiskies. The choice of stills for the malt components of Red Label and the grain component are optimized for efficiency and lightness. While specific malts within the blend might use various pot stills, the overall goal is a spirit that is not overly assertive or heavy. The column stills for the grain whiskey ensure a very pure, high-strength spirit that requires less wood influence to be palatable. It's a production strategy designed for scale and broad appeal, prioritizing smoothness over bold character. When it comes to maturation, Red Label typically uses a combination of refill American oak casks, which previously held bourbon, and some sherry casks. The focus here is on achieving the legal minimum age of 3 years, often not much more, to meet the immense global demand. Refill casks impart less intense flavor than first fill, leading to a lighter, less assertive wood influence. This quick turnaround allows for massive production volumes, but it also means less time for complex flavor development. Let's be brutally honest. Johnnie Walker Red Label often feels like the training wheels of Scotch. It's well-behaved, utterly predictable, and frankly, a bit bland. While it introduces countless people to Scotch, it rarely inspires a deeper passion. It's the liquid equivalent of business casual, inoffensive, universally accepted, but utterly unadventurous. It sacrifices distinct character for mass appeal, blending so safely that the unique Scottish spirit gets lost. Don't expect revelations, expect reliability for mixing. So, who is Johnnie Walker Red Label truly for? It's for the airport duty-free shopper looking for a recognizable gift, the bartender needing a reliable base for a whiskey cocktail, or the casual drinker who wants a Scotch without any challenging flavors. It's not for the connoisseur seeking complex flavors or the purist desiring authenticity. Red Label serves a purpose, it's an accessible entry point and a workhorse mixer. But as a sipping experience, you can do much, much better. Johnnie Walker's marketing is legendary, associating the brand with progress, status, and the iconic striding man. They sell a lifestyle, an aspiration. This is a masterclass in corporate branding. But strip away the glossy ads, the celebrity endorsements, and the historical prestige, and you're left with a perfectly acceptable, but ultimately unremarkable, blended Scotch. The price reflects brand power and distribution, not necessarily profound liquid quality. It's a prime example of marketing hype doing heavy lifting. Moving up one spot, we have Glenfiddich 12-year-old. Now, this is a single malt, which, as we learned, means it's made from malted barley at one distillery. Glenfiddich holds the title of the world's best-selling single malt, a truly impressive feat. Its iconic triangular bottle is as recognizable as the Queen's Guard. But does its global dominance mean it's a pinnacle of flavor, or just another victim of smoothed expectation? Let's investigate this green giant. Glenfiddich's story is one of audacious vision. William Grant, with his 7 sons and 2 daughters, built the distillery by hand in 1886 in Dufftown, Speyside. His dream was to create the best dram in the valley. More importantly, in the 1960s, while most distilleries sold their whiskey for blends, Glenfiddich decided to market their single malt directly to consumers, essentially inventing the modern single malt category. Talk about being pioneers. Glenfiddich's rise was nothing short of meteoric. While other distilleries focused on blends, Glenfiddich packaged its single malt in that distinctive triangular bottle and pushed it internationally, showcasing its unique straight malt identity. This bold move, combined with smart marketing, made it a global household name. They didn't just sell whiskey, they sold the idea of a single, pure and blended spirit, democratizing a category previously only known by enthusiasts. Glenfiddich is firmly rooted in Speyside, Scotland's most densely populated whiskey region, often called the fruit orchard of Scotland. This region is known for its pure spring water, a crucial ingredient. Glenfiddich uses water from its own Robbie Dew spring, giving it a consistency and purity. The Speyside style typically features light, fruity, and floral notes, less peat, and often a gentle sweetness. Glenfiddich 12 definitely embodies these classic regional characteristics. Glenfiddich boasts an enormous still house with an impressive number of copper pot stills, more than any other Speyside distillery. While their stills are of a standard size and shape for the region, the sheer volume and precise cut points, the precise moment they collect the heart of the spirit, ensure consistency and a light, fruity new make spirit. They also famously use worm tubs, old-fashioned condensers that cool the spirit slowly, sometimes adding a slightly heavier, meatier character to the spirit compared to modern shell and tube condensers. Glenfiddich 12 is matured for at least 12 years in a combination of ex-bourbon and ex-sherry oak casks. The majority are ex-bourbon, lending those classic vanilla, caramel, and oak notes. The sherry casks add a touch of dried fruit and spice. The marriage of these whiskies happens in large wooden Solera vats, a continuous process where only half the whiskey is drawn off at a time, leaving the rest to mingle. This ensures consistent flavor, but perhaps at the cost of some distinctiveness, creating a very safe profile. Here's the blunt truth about Glenfiddich 12, it's undeniably pleasant. It's smooth, approachable, and remarkably consistent. But it's also the liquid equivalent of business casual, inoffensive, universally accepted, but utterly unadventurous. It plays it so safe that it risks becoming forgettable. It's the whiskey you enjoy, but rarely remember, the training wheels of single malts. It's well crafted, yes, but lacks the distinctive character and emotional punch we look for in higher-ranked drams. So, who should be reaching for Glenfiddich 12? It's the perfect entry-level single malt for those transitioning from blended whiskies, a reliable and safe choice for a gift, or a staple for a bar seeking an inoffensive option. It excels at being a gateway into the single malt category. It introduces you to the concept without challenging your palate. For hardcore enthusiasts, however, it rarely offers the complexity or depth to hold sustained interest. It's a stepping stone, not a destination. Glenfiddich's marketing successfully balances its rich family heritage with a modern, approachable image. They highlight their independence and pioneering spirit. It's effective, positioning them as the accessible, friendly face of single malts. Yet, this very success has arguably led to a certain homogenization of their core product. When you're trying to appeal to the entire world, sometimes the sharp edges of unique character get sanded down. It's a tricky balance between tradition and mass-market appeal. Alright, moving on to a brand that's synonymous with luxury, prestige, and often eye-watering prices, the Macallan 12-year-old Sherry Oak. This isn't just a whiskey, it's a status symbol. The very name Macallan conjures images of opulence and exclusivity. But beneath the polished veneer and the hype, does this dram truly deliver liquid excellence, or is its reputation inflated by clever positioning? Let's critically examine this icon of Speyside. The Macallan began as a small farm distillery on the Easter Elches estate in Speyside, founded in 1824 by Alexander Reid. For a long time, it was a respected, but not globally dominant, contributor to blends. Its reputation for quality, particularly its dedication to sherry cask maturation, slowly grew. This commitment to traditional methods and sherry casks eventually set the stage for its modern-day luxury status, creating a foundation of genuine craftsmanship. The Macallan famously champions its 6 pillars as the foundation of its extraordinary quality. These include its spiritual home at Easter Elches, the small stills, the finest cut of spirit, exceptional oak casks, natural color, and peerless mastery. This marketing framework aims to communicate an artisanal, uncompromising approach. While many elements hold true, it also serves to justify premium pricing and elevate the brand into almost mythical territory. It's a blend of truth and clever narrative. What truly sets the Macallan 12 Sherry Oak apart is its unwavering commitment to maturing 100% of its spirit in sherry-seasoned oak casks. Unlike many distilleries that use a mix of bourbon and sherry, Macallan has historically focused almost entirely on sherry. These casks impart incredibly rich, dark fruit flavors like raisins and figs, along with notes of chocolate, nuts, and baking spices. It's a distinctive, heavy influence that defines the Macallan character, a veritable sherry bomb. Macallan's obsession with sherry casks goes even further. They don't just buy used sherry casks, they actively manage the entire oak journey, from sourcing the trees in northern Spain to having them coopered, barrel-made, and seasoned with sherry specifically for them. This level of control over their oak supply is almost unparalleled in the industry. It's an incredibly expensive and labor-intensive process, all to ensure those distinct, rich flavors that are so characteristic of Macallan. Another Macallan pillar is their use of unusually small copper pot stills, often cited as some of the smallest in Speyside. These short, stubby stills create a heavier, more viscous and new makes spirit. Remember our earlier lesson? Shorter stills mean less reflux, allowing heavier, oilier compounds to pass into the spirit. This creates a rich, full-bodied distillate that stands up beautifully to the powerful influence of those sherry casks, contributing to its intense flavor profile. Here's where the brutal critique bites. The Macallan 12 Sherry Oak is undoubtedly a good whiskey. It's rich, complex, and full of those delicious sherry notes. But is it worth the premium price tag it commands, especially when compared to other sherry-matured whiskies? For many, the answer is a resounding no. The brand has become so iconic, so associated with luxury, that its price has soared far beyond its liquid quality alone. You're paying for the name, the prestige, and the marketing, a lot of it. So, who is the Macallan 12 Sherry Oak for? It's for the individual who prioritizes status and brand recognition. It's a fantastic gift for someone who appreciates the finer things, or at least the appearance of them. It's for the person who wants to say, I drink Macallan at a dinner party. While it offers a genuinely good sherry-forward experience, it's often chosen as much for its brand cachet as for its actual flavor profile. It's often an arrival drink for those who have arrived in life. The Macallan faces a paradox. Its immense success and unwavering focus on luxury have, in some ways, made it a victim of its own heritage. While their commitment to sherry casks is admirable, the sheer volume required means their process is now highly industrialized, far from its humble farm origins. The gap between its artisanal image and its massive global production often feels stretched. It's a great whiskey, yes, but its value proposition is deeply, deeply flawed due to pricing based on perceived prestige rather than accessible quality. We've just scratched the surface, many more brands to reveal. So, as we pause our initial dive into the ranking, a clear pattern emerges, doesn't it? The world of Scotch whisky is bifurcated. There are those who buy for prestige, for the brand recognition, for the story they want to tell about themselves. And then there are those who buy for pure liquid quality, for the craftsmanship that truly sings on the palate, for the authentic character that speaks of Scotland's soul. Which side are you on? Are you drinking the hype, or the heart? This is just the beginning of our unfiltered Scotch whisky journey. We've tackled a few of the lower-ranked but immensely famous brands, pulling back the curtain on their origins, production, and true value. But there are still 22 more brands to go, each with its own story, its own secrets, and its own place on our definitive list. Now, it's your turn to chime in. Drop a comment below and tell us, which of these initial rankings shocked you most? Or, what famous brand do you predict will be next to face our brutal critique? If you've enjoyed this unvarnished look at Scotch whisky and appreciate our commitment to cutting through the corporate fluff, then hit that like button. Every like, share, and subscribe helps us continue our mission to bring you the honest truth about your favorite spirits. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss out when we reveal the next batch of brands, climbing higher and higher towards the true liquid gold of Scotland. Stay tuned, Whiskey Rebels.